Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SB Reviews where today we have ourselves a track from an act named Eyes titled Sugar. And if we switch over to here, I think that I have reviewed music from Eyes before. I think I might have reviewed the track titled Busy. I may be wrong. Feel free to let me know. But either way, I am familiar. I've heard some Eyes stuff before and I've thought it was pretty good. So we're going to listen through this track from start till finish and we're going to hear what we think. It's a short track at 1:18, so let's go.
Honey and cherry sugar on me. I see you in my dreams. You're so sweet, just like in reality. When you connect to understand me, but you don't see me. Still, I wanna say sugar. You're fine when you're sitting next to me in a gaze. You say hi like I wasn't even on your mind. Honey and cherry sugar.
I mean, it's just no place to pause, is there? I'm trying to find a point to talk about the music box back in there, the fuzz, the nostalgic feel to that kind of glow there with a bit of the hiss. And the vocals with the backing and call responses as well. There's a lot going on in a short track.
Baby, I want you for myself. You're so sweet, just like when I'm licking and ice cream and you're all mine. But in reality, you don't see me. You're so sweet, you can't be beat. You're on my mind, simply like all the time. Sugar on me, but in reality, you don't see me.
What I like about that last little note there, or that last little harmony, is that we go for the minor and then we rise up into the major. I feel that was deliberate and it's kind of fascinating. We're going to talk about this track though more in the conclusion. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Eyes titled Sugar. Now I think this track is talking about someone who's talking about someone they're quite into, and that person is on their mind quite a lot, you know. There's an attraction of some kind there, you know, but the other person doesn't really see them. So there's a little bit of a mismatch between interpretations and things aren't necessarily ideal though. There's like a dream ambience created by the music box and the glow of everything, including how things are done with the vocals and the variations of like how we communicate. I do like the range, by the way, vocally. Like we had some lovely clean vocals, comfortable on a hidden chest voice there. But we also had like a different way. We were kind of like that talking thing that we're doing here. Like we spoke, it kind of had like a more kind of intensity there. We adjusted the way we sung throughout this 1:18 track in a way where it never became dull or uninteresting. And I appreciate the attention to detail there. We could have very easily have just had an ABA structure like a verse, chorus, verse, or a chorus, verse, chorus, and then just kind of called it a day. But we didn't. It was almost through composed with the various ways we're trying to get the person's attention and stuff like that. You know, calling them sweet and stuff like that. So kind of talking about them and then almost kind of talking to them. So I thought that was kind of cool. There was lovely legato technique there, a little bit of vibrato occasionally, some really interesting harmonies like at the end of the track where we had that minor interval that kind of grew into the major. And yeah, honestly, I think it was a solid effort there. I like the way that we communicated there and expressed ourselves. It makes sense with this. It had a lot of personality to it, which I appreciate. The track itself at 1:18 is nice and short. You had the music box in the background, you know, playing some arpeggios there, and we didn't really have a lot else. We had that theme kind of continue there and repeat throughout. We also had some drums with a low-key 8th note groove there with occasional 16ths there, and that was just a way of kind of moving forward and keeping a sense of pace. And we also might have had an 808 or a bass in the low end as well, but it was kind of subtle. We had most of the energy in the mid to highs with the vocals and the music boxy component going on there. It was a relatively minimalist arrangement with very few instrumental layers, but at the same time, I don't really think we needed more than this. It communicated what it needed to in a way which was quite eloquent and easy to sort of access. The theme itself with the jazzy kind of lo-fi hip-hop aesthetic there, especially with that kind of vinyl glow to it that we had throughout, was kind of neat. And it kind of sounded like we were thinking about this person at nighttime after we'd tried to sort of like talk to them or been thinking about them throughout the day. It had a sense of sultry sophistication to it, which I appreciate as well with those jazzy extensions there, combined again with the low-key implementation of those drums and basses there. We didn't have any harsh edges or anything like that. It was kind of romantic sounding, a little bit wistful sounding. And again, it had that dreamy tone of someone who was like, looking back on how they thought about that person, and not necessarily feeling, well, we went from a minor to major with that last harmony, so I assume like there's it's kind of a bittersweet situation maybe. I could be wrong though, but either way, the theme was intriguing. It was good for the length of the track that it was, and I don't think there was a note out of place. The studio recording, mixing, and mastering was tight. I think that the way the vocals were leveled in the mix with the music boxy stuff, the bass and drums was wonderful. It was really well handled there. Things are nice and wide in the stereo field. The music surrounded you. There were no weird resonant frequencies in the frequency spectrum there, so things were done tightly there. Nice sense of glowing to it. The kind of fuzz or the glow, the kind of vinyl stuff that we had going on in the background there was neatly done as in like a sub-layer ambience, and there was dynamic range. Things weren't the same loudness all the time. But it was nicely glowed in. It was nice enough without pumping, so the bus compression limiting was handled. I mean, effectively, this is just a really positive review of Sugar from Eyes. I hope they continue to find. I hope they can build an audience off of tracks like this, because I think these shorter songs are the way to go nowadays, especially with a lot of people's attention spans and stuff like that. If you can get your story across in the space of a minute or two, that can be extremely effective. But thanks for watching this review. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go check out Eyes' various social medias and a Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either hell more than ever thought of crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.